This week, Lyndon Jenkins presents an 80th birthday tribute to the soprano Dame Joan Hammond.
Few singers have enjoyed the esteem of British music lovers in quite the same way as Joan Hammond. And although she had her lucky breaks, as we shall hear later, anyone studying her career cannot fail to be impressed by the amount of sheer hard work she put into it and her unfailing professionalism. As a student, she studied singing, violin and piano in that order. But it was the violin that took first place for a time, and she graduated into the ranks of the Sydney Symphony Orchestra. But even at only 17, she'd sung in Vaughan Williams's Pastoral Symphony, and at 20 was taking small operatic roles in her native Sydney. 4 years later, a special fund was raised to enable her to study in Vienna, and from there she came to London to try her luck. Walter Legge turned her down for recording, but she had a Messiah with Beecham at Queen's Hall, sang in Pagliacci for the BBC, and appeared at the opening night of the 1939 prom season. When war broke out, she was stranded in London, with hardly any money, and even without her belongings. They'd had to be abandoned in Vienna. So, setting about making a career for herself, she sang for Ensa, where Walter Legge heard her again, and now reconsidered his decision about her making records. Of course, with Europe closed, there was a dearth of good singers about, but his thinking was rather more pragmatic than that. As Columbia's recording impresario, he had a wartime catalogue to fill, and if popular operatic arias and songs were needed, then here was just the artist he was looking for.
We said that we'd get wet when spring came round once more.
One of Joan Hammond's earliest records, Eric Coates's song Green Hills of Somerset, sounding exceptionally well, I think, considering it was made over 50 years ago in 1941. Earlier that year, she'd made her first operatic recordings, when she and the tenor David Lloyd went to Birmingham with Walter Legg for a session of arias and duets with the City Orchestra there and its conductor Leslie Heward. The results of 2 days' work were rather mixed. None of David Lloyd's arias were ever published. Most of Joan Hammond's were, and one of them was to bring her early fame. A famous recording of One Fine Day from Puccini's Madame Butterfly, made by Joan Hammond in February 1941. By now, Walter Legg must have sensed that in this 29-year-old Australian singer he'd found an unusual talent, because he did two things. He rushed her records out within 2 months, and as soon as they began to sell, he fixed up to record more Puccini at the earliest moment. Little did he know that his company was on the edge of one of those bestseller breaks, but it was due entirely to Joan Hammond that it happened. Legg wanted something well-known to pair with Tosca's Love and Music, and he wasn't a bit interested in an aria from a virtually unknown Puccini opera that Joan Hammond wanted to sing. In fact, he wouldn't hear of it, but she remained determined, and as the date of the recording session drew nearer, he gave in. As well he did. It sold over 1 million copies. Loretta's aria to her beloved father, Fini's one-act opera Gianni Schicchi, and that historic recording of it by Joan Hammond with the Halle Orchestra conducted by Leslie Heward added to the success of One Fine Day and made her a household name before she was 30. Now, although the rich, vibrant quality of her vocal production most obviously suited her to the music of Puccini, Verdi and Tchaikovsky, she now studied and recorded several arias by Mozart, including those of the Countess in The Marriage of Figaro. She'd not sung these on the stage, nor did she later, but perhaps Walter Legg hoped that the change of repertoire would bring him another bestseller. If so, he was perhaps disappointed, for these records seemed to make little impression at the time and have not been reissued since. Nevertheless, they contain some very fine singing. Many sopranos might envy the calm, controlled line exhibited in the Countess's big set-piece in the third act.
Changing my Paris, of that my maid Susanna, and she find weary. While the darkness laid us. Oh, heaven, to what fatal state of abasement I have been driven by a consultant kind, who, after having the mixture astounding of vows untrue, of jealous passion and anger, adored me, then offended, and looked to betray me.
The voice of Joan Hammond filling the echoing spaces of the King's Hall at Bellevue in Manchester in 1942. The Countess's aria from Act 3 of Mozart's The Marriage of Figaro, again with the Halle under Leslie Heward. As a change from opera at this time, she recorded some songs by Sibelius. They were not issued at the first attempt, but she was able to return to them a year or so later, and this time all was well. As virtually all vocal records being made for the home market during the war years were sung in English, her clear diction must have counted as a distinct asset. Sibelius's song The Tryst, in which Joan Hammond was accompanied by Gerald Moore. From 1942 into the post-war period, she sang with the Carl Rosa Company, appearing regularly as Butterfly, Mimi, Marguerite and Violetta. And when I say appearing regularly, I really do mean it. I remember the conductor Harold Gray, who succeeded Walter Susskind at the Carl Rosa in 1944, telling me how the company toured the country, performing every night and matinees as well. And Joan Hammond, he recalled, sang every performance of Tosca, invariably to sold-out houses. Indeed, it's recorded that she sang that role altogether 149 times, that of Butterfly 147. Our next two records are souvenirs of that Carl Rosa period. First, Santuzza's aria from Mascagni's Cavalleria Rusticana. Santuzza's aria from Mascagni's Cavalleria Rusticana. Another role for which Joan Hammond was famous on the stage was as Violetta in Verdi's La Traviata. Notice here how she manages the balance between the two moods of Violetta's aria in Act 1, first conveying enchantment over Alfredo's evident devotion, then her self-doubts causing her to dash recklessly into the succeeding cavaletta.
believe that the fastness is dead. How can I hope? Where can I turn? To stand with every fear and wild delight, and live my days in joy, joy, I'll fulfill the round of pleasure, toying from pot to floor. I will drain a brimming measure from the cup of rosy joy. Never weary each dawning morn tries to bear me some new joy. Fresh delights I'll borrow, I will dance
Violetta's aria from Act 1 of Verdi's La Traviata. And in those two arias, which Joan Hammond sang so many times for the Carl Rosa Opera Company, she was reunited with its principal conductor during most of those years, Walter Susskind. In 1948, she appeared for the first time at Covent Garden, though she never became a permanent member of the company. The Royal Opera was then re-establishing itself after the war under conditions of extreme difficulty, short of money and rehearsal time. Although she enjoyed singing her familiar Puccini and Verdi roles, going on in Beethoven's Fidelio, having been merely led round the stage, with the stage director pointing out the main positions, was not to her an acceptable way of doing opera. She was happier at Sadler's Wells, where she took on a new Verdi role, that of Elizabeth in Don Carlos, and appeared in the first performances in England of an unknown opera by Dvorak. And here history repeated itself. Another unknown opera, just like Gianni Schicchi of 10 years before, that contained an aria with which her name became inseparable. Rusalka's Song to the Moon from Act 1 of Dvorak's opera of that name, recalling the first performances ever given in England at Sadler's Wells in 1959, when they were conducted, as there, by Willem Tauski. Actually, Joan Hammond's best-selling record had been made some time before, and so, of course, acted as a wonderful trailer for the opera. But when Rusalka was staged, she recorded another aria from Act 1. But this record is as little known as the Song to the Moon is famous. A second aria from Dvorak's Rusalka, which Joan Hammond sang at Sadler's Wells in 1959. During the 50s, her international career blossomed completely, and she was seen at opera houses in Vienna, the Netherlands, in America, and in Russia. She was, in fact, the first British singer to appear at the Bolshoi Theatre in Moscow and at the Kirov in Leningrad. There she sang Tchaikovsky's Eugene Onegin in Russian, which she learned specially. Indeed, although all her records we've heard today have been sung in English, Joan Hammond was equally at home in French, German, or Italian. Unhappily, in the early 60s, she became troubled by a heart condition, and it ultimately forced an end to her performing career in 1965. She'd made what proved to be her final recordings the previous year, a recital of songs in which she was accompanied by her old friend Ivor Newton. I thought we'd end our programme with one that she often included in the hundreds of recitals she gave all over the world during her 30-year professional career, When I Have Sung My Songs.
When I have sung my songs to you, I'll sing no more. 'Twould be a sacrilege to sing at another door. We've worked so hard to hold our dreams, just you and I could not share them all again. I'd rather die with just the thought